Appalachia Ramblin under the moon's bright light, where every trail leads us to the purest side.
This is Appalachian Ramblin. I'm Sam. This is Dillon. Pull up a chair, crack one open, and let's get into it.
Sure.
So what are we drinking?
I've got Noonday IPA from Nantahala Brewing Company.
I like the graphic. It's really pretty.
Nice. Yeah.
We've been to Nantahala once now, right?
Something like that.
I think it was just one time. Ayla actually picked out my drink. It's called Get Off My Cloud, and it's from Boojum, which is local here in Waynesville. So it's a hazy IPA. I usually like darker beers.
And non-APA IPAs in general.
Yep. So we'll see. I think she picked it because it was cute. It has really cutesy clouds, and it's teal, which is my favorite color. So that makes sense. Oh, that's really good. And I don't usually like IPAs.
I think you're lying.
You want to try it? Let me try yours.
It tastes like nothing like you would normally drink.
I know, but it doesn't have that weird aftertaste. What was yours?
It's just a regular IPA.
Oh, I like this. Brewed in the heart of the Great Smoky Mountains. That's cute. This says Get Off My Cloud.
That's
the name of it.
Yeah.
Okay. Today we're talking about Appalachian Ramblin. Who are we? So I'm Sam. I was born here in Waynesville. I did not grow up in Appalachia, though. My family moved to Raleigh when I was like between 2 and 3 years old. And from there, we moved overseas. And I didn't actually move back to Appalachia till I was 14-ish, 15-ish. But every time we would leave and be gone for a period of time and we would come back, we would be flying into like major airports like Atlanta or Charlotte. And we'd be coming up and I would see the rolling hills, the mountains for the first time. And it always felt like coming home. I mean, because this is where my family was, and we would spend, we call it stateside. So we would be stateside for like up to 6 months, sometimes a little longer. It was always harder and harder each time as I got older to leave. When we finally moved back to Waynesville and lived with my grandparents for a little bit. Then we moved to Cashiers when I was 15, and that's where we met.
Mm-hmm. Born and raised in Jackson County in Cashiers. Lived in North Carolina all my life, with the exception of about 3 years that we lived in Fort Worth.
After we got married, yeah.
Yeah, which is way too much concrete for me.
You loved it.
Yeah.
Texas was a good time. It was just too far away from any woods for you.
Yeah.
The mountains.
Yeah. Good people, not enough trees.
It really wasn't. No.
So yeah, born and raised here. A lot of deep roots here. My mom's side of the family all stems from going back to Cataloochee in that area with the Caldwells. The Caldwell house over there would have been some of my family's land. Yeah, been here a long time.
And they moved from, once the Cataloochee became the park, right?
Mm-hmm.
They migrated down to Maggie Valley.
Some of them did. I don't know all the details at the moment, but yeah.
Like I mentioned, we met in Cashiers when we were 15. And, well, I was 15, you were 16. And from there, we're high school sweethearts. We got married. Dylan mentioned we moved out of the state for a little bit, moved to Texas. But now we're back, and we recently moved to Waynesville. We've been in this home for a year now. Did you realize it was a year?
Yeah, right at it.
Yeah. So we moved to this place, and we have our little home on a mountain, our front yard, looking out on our porch. It's just beautiful. Blue Ridge Mountains. What did you say? What were the mountains you can see from our front porch?
Now you can see the 12 o'clock top of Old Michael. Yeah.
Yeah.
A bunch of
There's a bunch of them, but we're not far from the parkway.
No, like 10 minutes maybe.
And we're like in the heart of Pisgah Forest, right?
On the edge of it.
On the edge of it. Why this podcast? Why should you listen to Appalachian Ramblin? Well, we wanted to build a digital community that is of like-minded people. There's so many people who are like in my situation who moved away from the mountains, but they still feel drawn here. Then there's people in like Dylan's situation where you're born and raised, and this is pretty much all you know, and you have roots here that you can trace all the way back to, like Dylan can trace them back to Cataloochee and even further. So we wanted to create this digital community where people who are drawn to the Appalachian Mountains or who live here can just come together, share stories, talk about our life, our day-to-day life. What's cool is this week, I was telling you about this earlier, on TikTok, on our page for Stonewall 828, I commented on this woman's video. And I couldn't figure out where she is living now, but apparently she was born and raised in Western North Carolina, specifically in Waynesville. And she posted a TikTok talking about how even though she's moved away, when she connects to with other people who grew up in the Appalachian Mountains, there's like this instant connection. And she was posting on TikTok asking if anybody else had that same reaction when they meet somebody who's grown up here and lived here. And I commented on it and said something like, oh yeah, I totally get that. And we connected and figured out she grew up in Waynesville, not far from where we are now. And it was just neat to see, and that kind of full circle why we want to build this community, because you can live in another country and still feel drawn to these mountains and the life that is here.
Yeah, I mean, there's a difference between people that move here and respect the culture, respect the land, and want to be a part of it, and those that move here and want to completely change it into where they came from for some reason.
I agree. I want to talk about in this podcast throughout the episodes in the series how Appalachian area is misrepresented. For me personally, okay, my favorite thing to do is listen to podcasts, and it's to listen to podcasts that have like a spooky feel. And some of my favorites, like Two Girls, One Ghost, Ghost Teas, they are subjects like specifically around horror or true crime or hauntings. And a theme that you can even see trending on TikTok right now is haunted in Appalachia, right? You can see on Reddit. People sharing stories about experiences they've had, whether it's camping or if it's hiking, and they stumbled across some kind of cryptid or, Wendi-boy or Bigfoot. And it's gotten to the point that it's so popular and trending that there are people, even these hosts of some of these podcasts I've talked about, who are scared to come to Appalachia. And the reason why I feel like this is misinterpreting what life or what Appalachia is like is you're missing. That's like 10%. I'm not writing it off. I do believe in some of those things, and we'll get into that in later episodes. But I feel like you're missing a big chunk of it. Like 90% of it is not like that. What is some things that you feel like Appalachia is misinterpreted or misrepresented in like mainstream media?
Still even now, there's this misrepresentation that people from the mountains are just all uneducated and dumb hillbilly type things. Yeah, that's not how it is. There is that. But that's everywhere.
Yeah.
But
that's not the majority.
No, especially growing up in Cashiers, the assumption was a lot of people were ignorant, blue-collar construction workers. In all reality, they're skilled craftsmen working in the construction industry and can do things that people with doctorate degrees can't do. Just good people all around. Yeah, just because somebody works blue-collar jobs all their life and never went to college, and some people didn't even finish high school, but that has nothing to do with quality of person that you are and the things you know how to do. I think, too, there's a certain flavor of rebellion in the mountains where people are closed off to change in a certain way, but that also makes mountain people more open to people from
Different walks of
different
life.
walks of life. Yeah. I think historically this area has been home to people that are pushed out of other areas, and this has been a place of refuge for all sorts of different types of cultures.
I agree.
Throughout history.
Yeah. Yeah. But you definitely still have those closed-minded people.
Yeah, you're still going to
And
have the bootlickers, but that's everywhere.
I think it's fair, just like I said earlier about the cryptids, it's not fair to assume that that's how everybody is.
Yeah.
And I've experienced other cultures outside of the U.S. Dylan has experienced other states now. And each area, I feel like there's some kind of misinterpretation of how that area is going to be. But once you actually go there and live it, you realize, oh, no, that's not how it is. Like in Texas, not everyone was walking around with cowboy boots and cowboy hats and had horses. I know you were, but not everybody was walking around like that. Now,
hello?
If you have noticed, we have been joined by a guest. This is Opie. He is a mountain feist, right?
Specifically a leatherwood feist.
Oh, fancy Opie. He he wants to be a big bad squirrel dog.
I think he'd do fine. I think Mommy is scared.
Mommy is terrified.
And Daddy is scared of Mommy. We talked about living in Texas and all those other places and my college education and all that. And in the college education realm, people would hear my accent or see me wearing overalls on campus or whatever. And there's always this automatic assumption that I was a lower level human being than they were.
You're going to hear us throughout episodes talking about Stonewall 828. I think I've already mentioned it once. And we felt like in this pilot episode, we kind of needed to talk about what Stonewall 828 is. We started our little family business back in 2023. Does that sound right?
Somewhere in there.
2023. And it started out as something fun to do as a family. We did apparel and hats and decals that were coonhound related, specific to each breed of coonhound. And then in 2024, 2025, we started rebranding. And now we are celebrating the roots and the culture found here in Appalachian Mountains through apparel.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about where we got the name for Stonewall 828?
Yeah, I guess the name throws people off a little bit, but mainly it was based or inspired by my great-grandfather. His name was Stonewall Rathbone.
His nickname was Stony. I always thought that was cute.
So I always known him by
Papa Stony?
Yeah. And he died when I was still fairly young, but for some reason when I think about the mountains and mountain culture, who I remember him as kind of embodies all of that.
He had hounds too, didn't he?
Yeah, he's big time coon hunter, fished, but I think mainly it was the coon hunting in terms of hobbies and that sort of thing. Wore Porter brand overalls all the time. I don't ever remember him wearing anything else much. But I think not even just him specifically, but he represents a time in history when Appalachia was Appalachia. And I think it's part of what a lot of our generation is trying to get back to.
Simplicity.
Yeah, in the world of
AI
and whatever fuckery we have going on in our world today, we all want to get back to those more touch grass vibes and what's real. And I think in a lot of ways he represented that for me.
Makes
sense. That's where the name comes from.
But yeah, so that's Stonewall 828. This isn't a place where we're going to talk about our business, but it is going to be a place where it is mentioned because Stonewall 828 it's us. It's our family. It's me and Dillon. It's our daughter. And Appalachian Rambling is, again, Dillon and I, and our daughter may or may not make an appearance. She hasn't decided if she's comfortable with it or not. But it's hard to separate the two when it's so entwined.
Yeah. I think the key word is rambling.
Rambling.
Because some of my favorite podcasts are
just people
where they go off script
Yeah.
and they're just talking.
where I'm the opposite. I like the ones that have like, we're going to talk about this, and now we're going to talk about this. And it's not scripted, but
No. If you research it all, storytelling is a huge part of Appalachia
that's true.
and a huge
I didn't
part
think
of
about that.
rural America. And it's something that we're quickly
Losing.
in our high-tech society.
Going back to that streaming and mainstream media.
Yeah. So it's cool to be able to try to revitalize that storytelling aspect.
It's like you said earlier, Appalachian people are rebellious. So is this a form of rebellion for us?
In a way.
In a way, I like that.
That's it for today. We're going to close out. If you just want to join in and hear us shoot the shit about a bunch of random things
Rambling.
that has to do with Appalachia culture, and if you are part of Appalachian in this area,
Or feel drawn to it.
yeah, hop in the comments and be a part of our community.
Until then, don't whistle in the woods at night and go touch some grass.
In the heart of the hills, where the wildflowers bloom, we'll ramble through the woods, under the moon. Appalachia Ramblin, where the air's so sweet. Every step we take makes our spirits greet. From mountains high to the rivers wide, nature's beauty here never gets old inside. Appalachia Ramblin, where the trees are tall, with every leaf the story's all enthralled. Appalachia Ramblin, let the journey begin, through the heart of the hills where the wildflowers spin. Appalachia Ramblin, under the moon's bright light, where every trail leads us to pure sight. In the early morning, before the sun's rise, we'll walk along the streams where the dew still lies. Appalachia Ramblin, where the birds will sing, each note a melody in the morning's ring. Through the dense forest, by the riverside, our hearts are filled with joys we strive. Appalachia Ramblin, with every step we find the peace and wonder of this land so kind. Appalachia Ramblin, let the journey begin, through the heart of the hills where the wildflowers spin. Appalachia Ramblin, under the moon's bright light, where every trail leads us to a pure sight. Appalachia Ramblin, let the journey begin, through the heart of the hills where the wildflowers spin. Appalachia Ramblin, under the moon's bright light, where every trail leads us to the purest side.